Hi, I'm Dr. David Geyer, orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist, and I provide education and commentary on sports and exercise injuries and injury treatments and prevention so that you can stay healthy and perform your best. Now, one of the things we've got coming up, it's about to be New Year's, and it's so common for people to make New Year's resolutions. And it's even more common within all those people making New Year's resolutions. One of the things they make health and fitness resolutions. They may decide to, hey, I'm going to train for a marathon, or I'm going to start lifting weights, or I'm going to start a boot camp or CrossFit. All great. I'm a fan of any kind of physical activity, physical exercise that gets your body moving. So I'm not going to discourage you at all. But as an orthopedic surgeon, I see a lot of injuries that result from those activities. So I want to share a few tips that may help you minimize the chance of suffering those injuries. We can't prevent all injuries, but we can certainly decrease our risks of some of these injuries. So I want to share a few of those with you if you're starting a strength and conditioning program, or maybe you're starting a new exercise program. The first thing I'd recommend is especially if you're going to start a weightlifting program or a boot camp or a CrossFit, work with a qualified trainer. I've talked to a lot of my friends, and this is somewhat controversial, but I have a number of friends that work in the fitness industry, and they feel pretty strongly about the certification process. So you might consider looking for strength and conditioning trainers from reputable organizations, and they hold certification. So basically you have to go to school essentially, or take courses to learn it, and then you pass tests. There's a number of different degrees. CSCS is one, and I would have to think through what that stands for, but strength and conditioning is somewhere in there. I think there's the NSCA. I'm not sure what they stand for, but look into that. I know there's some debate about that, but that they've taken classes on proper techniques and things like that. So it's certainly a good idea. One of the reasons that working with a qualified trainer is important is you want to learn the correct techniques, the correct movements for each exercise. You don't want to be flailing your arms around and doing something wrong and potentially injure yourself. And if you've never especially lifted weights before, very likely you're not going to know the exact ways to do each exercise. And if free weights, there's no diagram, and again, you're trying to control relatively heavy weights, you risk getting hurt. Even if you're using the machines and you see the little pictures on the side, it's hard to really replicate that if you don't know what you're doing. Plus, you want the trainer that not only teaches you the correct techniques, again, to minimize the chance of injury, but also puts the stress, it helps you put the stress in areas that help you build the muscle the right way. If you're going to do the exercise, you want to get the benefits out of it. So the proper technique is really important. Now, one of the things I see a lot as an orthopedic surgeon are people that, they're so ambitious. They want to go, hey, I want to go run this marathon, but I've only got 2 months to train, and they go at it really hard, and then they suffer a stress fracture or some kind of overuse injury. Or, same thing goes with lifting weights. If you've never lifted weights before, you don't want to start with the really heavy weights. You want to start slowly and work your way into it. So with running, give yourself enough time to very slowly ramp up your training over time so that you minimize the stress on bones and you give yourself enough time to recover. Same thing goes with weights. Start with low weights, do the proper technique, and then gradually increase the reps, increase the weight, increase the sets as you get more comfortable with it. Another thing along those same lines, you build a lot of muscle by going till you can't possibly do another one, and you keep pushing. But what I would tell you is stop when you can't control the weight, you can't control the movement anymore. Because what you don't want to do is you see somebody with a really heavy weight and they try to get one more bench press and their arm gives, and then all of a sudden they tear something in their shoulder. So go to max. I agree with that, but make sure you can control the weight the whole way. When you can't, that's when to stop. And then the last thing I'd probably recommend is that I would cross-train several days a week. You may love running. You may love lifting weights. I like lifting weights. I stopped running. I ran for about 13 years and one day I got tired of it. I haven't done it since. It's just not my thing anymore. That's fine. I like to lift weights. You may like to swim. But the thing about any one particular activity is it tends to place stress on the same body parts all the time. Running, it may be stress on the feet and on the ankles and the legs. Lifting weights, it may be different. Shoulders for swimming. There's a lot of different repetitive motions, but that repetitive stress day after day, week after week, month after month can cause problems. It can lead to wear and tear. Eventually you get overuse injuries. So I'm not telling you to give up what you like to do, but maybe instead of doing something 7 days a week, you do it 5 days a week and you add in things that are very different. So if you run all the time, maybe 1 or 2 days you swim, or maybe you swim one day, you lift weights another day. You still get a good workout, but you're stressing different body parts while the parts that you're stressing with running, for instance, heal. So I think cross training, even just a little bit, is potentially really important. Now, do you have any other suggestions? People that are starting a workout program, I mean, it's that time of year. What advice would you give them? Or if you have thoughts on any of the ones I suggested, maybe you agree or maybe you disagree, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So below this video, leave your comments. I'd love to hear them and I'll try to respond to them as well. If you like videos like this and want more information on injuries, injury treatments, injury prevention, yes, in exercise and maybe in sports, subscribe to my video channel and you'll get videos like this delivered directly to you. I record them once or twice a week. And last, I share a number of resources with my email list on ways to stay healthy and perform your best. And they're completely free, so go to my website, drdavidgeyer.com, enter your name and email, and I would love to communicate with you that way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you would share your comments, your ideas, your suggestions for all the people that are going to be starting new workout programs here in the next few days. Definitely share your comments, and I look forward to seeing you right here next time.